Hey guys, off the grid here. I've been talking over some topics with some buddies of mine that we were talking about survival knives and so on, and your go-to knife versus your EDC knives. And I built a Curry style blade here probably 5-6 years ago. Just toying around with an idea, and I thought, I've seen how these knives are very effective, this style, and this one's been used a bunch. I don't know if you can see here, but it's been tore up. I use it. It's got a 5/16 blade in it, and kind of a leather stacked contoured handle. And this blade, it serves an immense amount of purposes out in the bush. I go out there and procure firewood and do that kind of thing. And I like to keep this knife pretty sharp. It's not a knife that you would say is it's not a knife that I would say I would shave with. And get this thing to work here. There we go. It does cut. There's no doubt about it. It does cut. But again, we're talking about a blade here that's, it's more like an axe. But I have to say that this thing probably weighs somewhere in the vicinity of about 1.5 to 2 pounds, maybe more. I'm not real sure. That's a hell of a hunk of steel. But this knife, to me, based in a hand-to-hand situation or something like that, I don't necessarily have to worry about cutting or stabbing an individual with this thing. If I can just hit them, this area down in here is still extremely sharp. This thing was razor sharp when I built it, and it needs to be touched up. Matter of fact, probably now that I got it out and looking at it, I'm going to do that probably tomorrow. Touch this thing up and get another coat on it so it doesn't rust and doesn't decay. But anyway, this thing in a hand-to-hand combat situation is brutal. I've just, for the fun of it, hacked into a hog carcass with this thing, and ribs, even the shoulder joint. This thing is going to do some serious damage, and I prefer to carry it on my ruck versus on my person because, again, it's heavy and it's kind of bulky, but it serves its purpose. If you can get a chance to sit down and really, look at your environment and the people that are around you, and have them kind of help you or work with you to build something of your own design. This one was crafted in my shop, but there's people out there that are machinists and are metal workers and just really good home fabricators. If you have an idea for something that you don't find on the shelf, or even if you do find it and you just don't feel that it's worth the amount of money they're asking or whatever, don't be afraid to go to these people and sit down with them, powwow with them a little bit, and pick their brain and see if they're willing to help you turn into fruition something that you think is a good tool or an improvement on an already existing tool or something. I guess the main purpose behind this video is that there's a need out there for implements. If you look, there's guys out there all the time that are innovating new survival equipment, that are innovating new tools, and don't be afraid to try out some crazy ideas. Go pay that guy $60-70 in a case of beer for the material and the time invested to try to have this thing made into at least a working prototype. This knife here, I've had a lot of guys, since they've seen it and handled it and used it, said, man, I wish I had one of those. Well, I have yet to build more than two. There's two out there that I've built. It's a solid tang, design. I put a very nasty point on the end of this thing that, under duress, will break windows. And let's face it, you bring that down on somebody's cranium with 2 pounds of steel behind it and the force of your arm, it's going to get the job done. I've done some research on the kukuri and the history of it and the usage of it and the different countries and cultures that use them. They're a very effective weapon. I mean, you can't sell something short that's got that kind of history. So I just kind of improved on it. I made it a little bigger, a little thicker, a little different handle design, and it works great. So get out there and express your ideas. Don't be afraid to go talk to the guy that's got the welding shop down the street, and say, hey, I know that you're a fabricator, you do these things. Here's my idea. If it's, I don't care if it's for a new shovel design or a new knife design or whatever it is that you're going to do. Jack support plates for your handyman on your 4-wheel drive, whatever it is that you have an idea for. Don't be afraid to go down there and hash it over with these people, because a lot of people that own shops like myself are that's kind of our entertainment, so to speak. Somebody comes in with a crazy idea and we say, hey, let's try that just to see, let's see what it'll turn into. And a lot of guys are willing to devote some time that doesn't cost a lot of money just to see something happen. So what'll happen when they get it done? So go out there, give it a shot, and give me some video responses as to the kind of things that you've designed or improved on, and let's get our creative juices flowing. In this ready-made society, it'll give you an opportunity to use your imagination, a little fortitude in your own independence. So go ahead and jump out there and get crazy with a grinder and a welder and cut and torch, and let's see what you can come up with. All right, guys. Till next time.